landed, it was pretty busy, but we found a table way far away. Okay, we are in the Istanbul Airport right now. We're about to fly to Cologne, Germany, and we thought we'd just give like a little review of our time in Istanbul and how we liked it and general impressions. What do you think?
I loved it. I went in with high hopes. I had heard several travelers relay what a beautiful country it is, how family friendly it is, how kind and welcoming the people are, but I wasn't prepared for how true that was. Um, in general, I would say the people that we spent time with talking were so very, very proud of their country and their culture, their families, um, and just couldn't be more gracious hosts. And that was true at our hotel. That was true of our guides. It was true of our driver that took us to the airport. I gave him a great big hug. We embraced after we felt so connected after spending 20 minutes in a car ride together.
We
I
were
can't wait to come back.
communicating through Google Translate back and forth, but he really, really wanted to just talk to us all
Yeah,
about his country and whatnot. Even though he couldn't speak our language, he was still very, very enthusiastic. It was really fun.
it was very sweet. And he told us several things. He believed that if everyone were to sit down to a Turkish home and a Turkish dinner, there would be no war because they are such kind people and understanding and tolerant, peaceful people. We learned a lot. He also knew a ton of history, which was wild.
So, in general, we stayed when we got here. We stayed at the Grand Hyatt Istanbul, which is kind of in the northern area. The three sections of Istanbul being like the Old Town, the Asian side, and then we were on the northern side, just kind of north of Taksim Square, Galata Tower. But we really highly recommend the Grand Hyatt. It was absolutely stunning, and beautiful. We'll leave a full review and a little bit more details about that in a separate video.
Yeah, loved it. Absolutely 10 out, like would return there. Coming back, I wouldn't even hesitate to book that spot again.
Yep. One of the things that we do when we travel and the thing that excites us the most is the food, getting to try all the different things. And Istanbul, I think, is one of the coolest places for food. We didn't eat in any like fancy restaurants, but we had such good like
Oh my God.
kebabs and quality food all over the place.
Such great foods. We had beautiful breakfast at our hotel that was included, which was fantastic. But we ate out. We did a food tour that was spectacular. Even right now, I'm like, you can't really see this, but it's like the most beautiful
No,
plate.
without dumping it on the floor.
It's so yummy, but there's like fresh vegetables and fruit and olives and beets and tomatoes and it's so yummy. If you're a vegetarian, you'd totally be happy, but if you're a meat eater, you will also be so thrilled with the food.
Absolutely. As far as getting around, I thought it was pretty simplistic and easy to kind of get around. We took an airport transfer. We got it through Biotour just to get to our hotel because it is about an hour away. I didn't really want to deal with trains. Took us straight there.
However, it is quite like I know plenty of people that have navigated it. It's quite cheap and quite simple. So I wouldn't hesitate to also take public transportation, but we just decided to book a private transfer and we were transferred in some crazy, what are they called?
I don't even
Well,
remember.
the
Little limo style.
vans.
Yep.
I don't know. It was wild.
But beyond that, I would say getting around using the public transportation is super easy. So I would highly recommend getting an Istanbul card. There's vending machines pretty much everywhere. It's relatively easy. It costs like maybe a couple bucks to buy the card, and then you can just load it up with Turkish lira. You can use credit cards or whatnot. We actually bought this one off of our food tour guide. He was like, "Hey, just take mine."
He was the best. He said, no, take mine. I'll load it up. I can do this all for you. It's just, we'll definitely need to link that because he was spectacular.
As far as how much money to put on this, we were here for 5 days. We bought this with about 900 Turkish lira, which is close to $30, a little under maybe. And we probably used a little more than half of it. We thought we'd be traveling around a little bit more, but we did a fair amount of walking. So I would say a family of family of four for 5 days, probably 400 to 500 there is what we actually spent using the public transportation. This is good for ferries. It's good for the trams, buses. We didn't take any buses. From my understanding, I would avoid the buses because traffic in Istanbul is really you're
Bonkers.
exactly
Bonkers.
So Rather get on a tram and whatnot. So,
Yes, I would avoid taxis. I would avoid cars. I would avoid anything like that.
and as far as the attractions, I mean, I feel like we only scratched the surface. We really kind of kept it laid back on this trip. This was our first time to Istanbul. We obviously did the food tour that we talked about, but then the other main thing that we did a tour of the Hagia Sophia and Blue Mosque, which we'll also have more detailed videos on that tour. It was really cool to see that stuff. The Hagia Sophia, Blue Mosque were wonderful. They're
Beautiful.
really beautiful. We were hoping to see the Basilica Cistern. We didn't quite get around to it. We mostly kind of walked around and ate the food, and that's kind of one of our favorite things. I'm sure we'll be back at some point.
Yeah.
We will.
We made it a goal on this trip because in the past we found that we try to pack our days and we want to see everything and get it. And I have come back from vacation feeling tired or stressed, and that is not at all the experience that we want. And so we made a conscious effort on this trip to pick one thing a day and then to also just kind of allow our kids to do what they want and to be on their phones a little bit more and enjoy the trip they needed to. And I would say overwhelmingly, it's been a success. They got along so much better. We had moments where we could communicate more. It really was great. And unfortunately, our youngest got a little bit sick, so we needed to slow things down anyway. Totally unrelated to here. It just caught a bug. Um, so
Yep.
yeah,
So we had a day where it was just kind of chill, and we got outside a little bit, just walked around the park and had some fun, but we didn't really do much that day. It was actually good. So the other thing that we did have planned was we did a hammam, which is a traditional Turkish bath. Videos of that you'll see a different video, but
that was
our
great.
youngest son loved it. It was such a fun experience. We did do a kind of a non-traditional because we booked a private hammam, so all four of us could experience it together. But it was great.
Yeah, that was really special. He actually asked if we could squeeze another one in this morning, and unfortunately, time wouldn't allow it. But it was really sweet. Oh, he said to me afterwards, and our youngest is 11, Mom, the girl that was working with me was so nice. She knew I didn't understand her at all. So she was very, very patient, which was darling. And I think overall, that is exactly the experience that you'll get here. Is there's so much kindness and so much regard for the children. And that's just, that means a lot to me.
People are amazing. They're very, very friendly, and like she touched on earlier, it's just like very enthusiastic to like share their culture with you. And
Yeah.
everyone we met and interacted with, it was all smiles and just very, very pleasant.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the other, I think, the highlight, especially for you, was there were so many stray cats and dogs, but the culture here is they take care of their strays. Like they're out and they live out in the streets, but they're all look very, very healthy. They put food and water out. They sometimes even in the park we were in, there was like shelters.
No, they actually have like dog houses and cat homes, and there's water dishes and food dishes out all over. There's not a problem with feces. Like, I'm not exactly sure. Our tour guide told us that I believe there's 17 ambulances, like vets that are on wheels that go around vaccinating, fixing the animals, and they are. It's just interesting because everyone makes space for them. There isn't any like shoo 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 or like any kind of aggression. It's all just harmonious, which is remarkable. And I am such an animal lover. So to see the kitties that look so cute and were so healthy, and then these dogs, all these stray dogs that are just part of the city are massive. And I'm a sucker
Like
for big dogs, like
100 to 150 pound
big dogs.
just like Anatolian
Chill,
shepherds and
just chill. They just lie there, take a little snooze. When it gets rainy or cold, they're welcome in all the shops and all the restaurants. There's no begging. There's like the most well behaved animals I've ever seen. So they're doing something right here. And it was just really beautiful to see all the humans hold so much respect and space for them too. There's a lot to be learned, I think, from this country and this culture.
absolutely. And the last thing I want to touch on is just the overall, like how safe we felt just wandering around the city. There's some people that would say like, "Oh, I don't know about going to Turkey. I don't know if like you feel welcome there or anything." But we obviously felt very, very welcome. We felt very safe walking pretty much everywhere. One of the things that our driver on the way here said that a lot of the people that look homeless and look like they're beggars out on the street are actually undercover police officers. It's like he told me that. I was like, they're very, very serious about security here. So it's just And even our food tour guide said that pickpocketing was not a really big thing.
Yeah.
So you didn't compared to a lot of other European cities like Barcelona, where it's really rapid. We love
Yeah,
Barcelona,
Rome.
but like
Yep.
we can obviously see that out and about. So I didn't feel that here at all. I felt very, very safe, very comfortable
100%.
wandering anywhere.
And I just think that it goes to show my ignorance as an American because I did, I was concerned about safety coming here. And that you should always try to be safe and like protect, especially as a woman. Like I'm always mindful of that. But it is such a part of the culture for respect for family that it just felt completely welcoming. And I can't say enough about it because I would totally return here again and again. I want to see more of this country. It was just beautiful. And our driver said, please tell your friends in America that this is a safe place. There seemed to be, that I got from a couple of different conversations, concern about how Americans view this country.
Mhm.
And I'm telling you here, it's fantastic.
We'll be back for sure.
Oh my gosh, yes, 100%.
And so now we are off to Germany in
Yay!
Cologne or Köln.
Cool.
Köln. And we're going to see some Christmas markets, and we've got a couple dinners planned. So yeah, it's going to be
More food,
we have
more
a
people.
short 3 hour flight, but I think we're
Which,
gonna.
by the way, is on Turkish Air, and their economy is amazing. Again, it's part of like this culture of hosting, and it's just it's great. You get a lot of bang for your buck.
And now we're going to enjoy the lounge for a little bit. So
Cheers.
cheers. See you soon.